It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've been waiting to make this video for such a long time. I knew that Leffe was in cans, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the UK. I picked up this can from Aldi, St. Pierre Blond beer, Belgian Abbey beer at 6% ABV, about 2 months ago at least. It's 6% ABV. It's going to be absolutely fine. It's not like it needs to be drunk fresh, that sort of thing. In fact, it didn't go off until August 2025. It's November 2024. And I immediately thought, oh, this is a Leffe rip-off. Aldi love to kind of, and they tweet about it, and they had who did they have a joke with? They had a joke with somebody on Twitter the other day, on X or whatever it's called, about ripping people off and stuff. They're getting a little bit like Ryanair, Aldi on X, on Twitter. But they're not afraid to get close to ripping people off. And this for me looked like Leffe, so I picked it up, bought it. It was about £2 a can, and I stuck it in my fridge because yes, you can buy the cork and cage bottles of Leffe in a 750ml bottle from Tesco's and Asda's and Morrison's and everywhere else. But I was absolutely sure you could buy a can. So I just waited patiently. I just kind of sat back and waited, and here we are. Ironically, it was Aldi. It was in the middle. Do you know that middle aisle with his stuff everywhere? You can buy a pair of trainers, and you can buy a jumper, you can buy a chainsaw, you can buy a 4-pack of Leffe. And that's what was there, a 4-pack of Leffe Blond. So I had to buy 4 cans. It is nearing Christmas, so I thought, well, it's not as good as it used to be, but I'll still drink it around Christmas time. 440ml can, 6% ABV, and I was absolutely sure that Aldi here were indeed copying Leffe. And you can even see it's very close. I mean, it's almost as if they've even got the stained glass window. I was sure it was Leffe. I'm pretty sure I'm still right, actually. Looking at that stained glass window, Yeah. So let's check out Aldi's cheap rip-off Leffe. I think I paid about £5 for the 4 cans of Leffe. £6. It's always nice to buy Leffe in a cork and cage bottle, but I've always been heartbroken. I always found Leffe to be a terrific beer. It really was. But I was always slightly heartbroken to the fact that they lowered it from 6.6% to 6%. I think it was about June or July, August time 2023. I made a whole song and dance about it back last summer. Have a look at the video if you like. That took me an age too. It took me an age. So what these big companies like to do, so this is AB InBev, the likes of Stella Artois, Budweiser, Own Leffe. What they like to do is remove all of the old stock off the shelves. So all of the 6.6% ABV stuff was sold. They discontinued it for a while, and then they brought it back as 6% ABV. But it was another German supermarket actually that I found it in. I found it in Aldi, Lidl. I found 4 bottles of 6.6% ABV Leffe. I went everywhere, Home Bargains, Tesco, Asda, Morrison's. I went everywhere looking for an old bottle of 6.6% ABV Leffe, and I finally found it in Lidl of all places, in the middle of Lidl, 4 bottles of this stuff, and I reviewed it with a new Leffe at 6%. It was a completely different beer, absolutely completely different beer. I reached out to AB InBev, I tried talking to him about it, didn't even get a reply. But anyway, that's a little kind of backstory, I suppose, with Leffe, and probably the reason why Aldi have brought out their own version, because this looks very different, doesn't it? Little bit of haze, 1 finger white head. You look at this Leffe, completely clear. Now it might haze up in a moment. It might not. It might not. There's only a little bit left in the bottom of the can. No. So there we are. Straight away there's a difference between the 2 beers. Look at the colour. I like a bit of reassuring haze. I like the fact that this beer here, this Blond from Aldi, is lighter in colour. It's got more of an authentic Belgian head as well. This looks more like, the head on the left looks synthetic. So let's get the aroma then on the Aldi St. Pierre. Lovely, lovely. Fruity, hoppy, a little bit of malt in there. Belgian candied fruit, Belgian candied sugar. Smells good. Let's get the Leffe. Dull and boring. It's unbelievable. I can't believe they changed it. Giving that a right old sniff. Nothing. The Aldi version is wetting my lips. It's making me salivate. Beautiful perfume beer, lots of aroma. This one, real Leffe. A little bit of grainy malt. So I suppose here, I'm gonna have to start with Leffe, otherwise I'm gonna ruin my palate. Drinking that malty, grainy, little bit of Belgian candied fruit, little bit of Belgian candied sugar coming through. It's well rounded at 6% ABV. It's very well drinkable. I think they're trying to aim this beer now at the former Stella Artois drinker. Of course, it's from the same company. Stella Artois used to be a 6% ABV beer years and years ago, dropped to 5.5, dropped to 5.2% ABV, dropped to 5% ABV. It's gone all the way down now. I believe Stella Artois now is 4.6% ABV, and it's a shadow of its former self. And people have just turned their backs on it. People have just gone, I'm not having it. I'm not having that reassuringly good, reassuringly expensive, whatever the advert was back in the day. Reassuringly strong, was that the advert? Ironic, isn't it? I think now that Stella Artois have realised, or AB InBev have realised, they've made a right old mess of Stella. They tried to bring out Stella Unfiltered at 5% ABV. That's pretty decent. Probably confused the Stella drinker a little bit. So what they've decided to do is another fork in the road, another direction, if you like, is to bring Leffe down to 6% ABV and maybe try and tempt back the Stella drinker that way. You can see It's the clarity for me. They've gone for that clear lager drinking person. There are still some people out there, believe it or not, that don't like hazy beer. There are some people out there that still drink with their eyes. Unbelievable, isn't it? So they've tailored this beer to the Stella drinker, I think. It's okay, it's a bit perfumed, it's a bit spicy, it's a bit dry, it's drinkable, it's sweet, it's biscuity, it's a little bit bitter on the back end. It's okay. But I know for a fact, just by the aroma alone, that this St. Pierre from Aldi is going to blow it out the water. Different class. Different class of beer. The reason why I've waited so long to review this beer is that I know some of you might have cried foul if I reviewed a bottle of Leffe versus a can of St. Pierre. What I've noticed that you guys like from me is consistency. To try and use a similar glass, which I have done. To review beer in the same package. So can versus can. Rather than bottle of Leffe versus can of Leffe. Because there will always be comments coming through in the comments box to say, hang on a minute, it's not fair because you've done bottle versus can or whatever. There's no arguments now. There's no arguments. It's clear. And it was worth waiting for. That the can of St. Pierre from Aldi. It looks better. It looks more of a Belgian blonde. Look at the beer as I rock it back and forth. Look at that beautiful lacing on the glass. This Leffe is slowly becoming a lager. Leffe is slowly but surely zombifying itself into a lager. This St. Pierre Blonde will probably never win any awards. It will fly under the radar. It will not get people shouting from the rooftops. But what it is doing is tasting better than Leffe. And as far as Aldi are concerned, that's job done. That is job done. Who brews it? Brewed in Belgium by Pam. I know Pam Brewery. You beer-loving people will know Pam. You will know Pam. I'm trying to think of one of Pam's famous beers. Off the top of my head, it's probably a Belgian blonde. It's probably Pam Blonde. I've been to Pam Brewery in Belgium. You go down the drive. As you're going down the drive, they got hop vines either side of you. It's like driving through a cathedral of hops either side of you. Beautiful brewery, beautiful. So my rating now for regular Leffe in a can. I've been fair. I've been as fair as I can. I can just see what's happening. This is aimed at the Stella drinker. And for the Leffe lovers out there, it must be heartbreaking. This is compared to that, there's nothing to it. It's unoffensive. There's no off flavours. It's malty and sweet and slightly kind of herbal. Slightly sweet and Belgian candied sugar like. it's quite poor. It's quite poor, actually. It's a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. As for Aldi, St. Pierre, well, beautiful. I guessed at the £2 a can. Have a look in your local Aldi. It's 6% ABV. With taxation these days, it's going to be about £2 a can now. But you're buying a better beer. You're buying a better beer. It's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.